Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel. It is your mental health therapist, Toya, and today I am bringing you another video to give you some more mental health tips. We're in the first quarter of the new year, so I wanted to give you 5 suggestions on things you can consider doing to live a healthier life, a happier life, just ways that maybe you want to improve your quality of life, because no one's perfect and we can all use improvement in some areas. So maybe I have a tip for you today that you might want to take heed. Tip number 1. This year, schedule some time to do things you enjoy. Like you've heard me say before, we are all guilty, I'm sure, of planning on doing things for ourselves that we just don't get around to doing until maybe months later or weeks later, if we even have done those things at all at this point. So this year, schedule some time to do things that you enjoy. In therapy, we call that behavioral activation, making sure you stay engaged in those enjoyable activities. It can be anything from reading that book you've been wanting to read to maybe taking yourself out to the movies, going out to eat, hanging out with friends, going to visit loved ones, taking that walk, visiting that park or that beach. The list can go on and on and on. But this year, let's try to schedule some time to make sure we do those things. Get your calendar out and pick, if it's one day out of the whole month, pick that day. And if it's just 1 hour over that whole day, pick that 1 hour for the whole month that you're going to do something nice for yourself. And of course, it can be longer than an hour if you like. But let's just stay active in activities that bring us joy. Tip number 2, choose one unhealthy eating habit to change. Be it if that's maybe giving up soda, maybe minimizing sugar, or giving it up if you're a true champ like that. I don't know if I can completely give up sugar, but maybe minimizing the intake of your sugar, eating more veggies, whatever it is that can just make you physically feel better as well as nutritionally be a benefit for your body. You know, I'm sure you've heard that term, you are what you eat. Well, what we eat definitely can play a role in our energy level, if we're feeling fatigue or if we're feeling like we got enough energy to push through the day. Even what time we eat makes a big difference, you know. I'm not a breakfast person, but I try to make sure I have something in my stomach no later than 10 o'clock, just because I know I can go all day without eating, and we all heard of the term hangry, right? Not saying you're going to automatically get angry if you don't eat, but just saying that a lack of food does affect a person's ability to regulate their emotions or to minimize the intensity of unpleasant emotions that may be triggered throughout the day. So choose a healthy eating habit that you can change, improve, or maybe even if it's give up. Tip number 3, create a gratitude journal. It's benefits in being able to stop and reflect on the things that we have that we can sometimes take for granted. And it helps develop a greater appreciation for life. You know, many of us strive to achieve goals, be it if that's fitness goals or financial goals, but you know, God has blessed us with so much already. If you woke up today, that's a blessing that somebody else probably didn't get to have. Being able to wake up in your right mind, being able to wake up, you know, under shelter, food in your pantry. Everybody don't have those benefits. Some that we just, again, might take for granted because maybe we've had it all our lives. So this year, maybe look into creating a gratitude journal. So that way you too can develop a greater appreciation for those that are in your life and the things that you have. Number 4, maybe start practicing mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is a meditation that people use to help cultivate a calmer way of life. I like to describe mindfulness as being presently aware of what's going on with you right now in this moment. We can all get so used to what we have to do on a daily basis that we can kind of go throughout our day robotically, if you will. And while we're going throughout our day, we're thinking of the next 10 steps that we got to make. Or we're reflecting on something that already happened because maybe we're still trying to process what happened and what to do next or how to avoid it as we're just going throughout our day. So practicing mindfulness, it allows you to trick your brain, if you will, give your brain an exercise to function in a way that it don't usually function. So practicing mindfulness at first can definitely feel odd. There's a lot of different mindfulness activities you can do. They actually have weight loss programs set up based off of the 7 foundations of mindfulness practice. It teaches people to be really, really aware of their food, right? From what it smells like to what it tastes like to the different textures, what they see, even listening to their body signal to let them know that they're actually full. You can also practice mindfulness while stretching, while going for a walk, while sitting somewhere very peaceful. There's a deep breathing exercise that you can do practicing mindfulness. And later, I'm going to actually post a video where I guide you through a mindfulness activity. Speaking of being guided through mindfulness activities, there are many apps you can download that will also help guide you through mindfulness activities and different meditations as well. So mindfulness is definitely good to kind of have a good check-in with yourself, if you will. And it's meant to be a limited activity. Nobody's walking around all day in this heightened mindful states 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That would be very unwise and very unhealthy to do. But it is great to practice mindfulness for a limited amount of time. I normally do 5 minutes. Some people do 10 or up to 15 minutes if they like. And it's, again, a way to just check in with yourself. See what's going on with your body. See what's going on with your mind. Seeing how what happened for the day actually affected you physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. So mindfulness is a great activity that I suggest that you try, or if you've already tried it, maybe try to make a routine of it. I'll even share in a later video my first experience with mindfulness, because it's kind of funny now that I look back on it, but it really helped me improve my sleep. So mindfulness is something I suggest as another coping skill, or even as just another healthy, consistent behavior you can do to help cultivate that calmer lifestyle. And the fifth and final suggestion I have for you is to set SMART goals this year. Now, when I say SMART goals, that isn't a play on saying that you set silly goals, right? But I'm referring to the acronym SMART goals. SMART, it stands for setting goals that are very specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And these goals are really good to set because they help you keep track of how well you're progressing throughout the year. If you're staying focused or staying on track to meet those goals. I say check in with those goals every month or two. And if you're not on track, or if you haven't met goals that you felt like you should have already met, then that's a good time to really evaluate, well, what are those barriers that's stopping you from achieving those goals, and how can you overcome those barriers? So by this time next year in 2025, you would have not only achieved your goals, but can be well on your way to maintaining them and even setting new goals to work on for next year. Those are the 5 suggestions I have for you as far as mental health tips on way to just improve your quality of life, be a happier, healthier person. Thank you for tuning in and listening to me. If this is helpful, send this video to someone, hit subscribe. I post videos every week, so you can hit the bell to be notified when I do. And thanks for listening. Be blessed.